March 17th, 1916. This is the birth date of BMW, whose first product was actually a straight-six aircraft engine called the BMW 3A. Now, in modern times, BMW is the epitome of precision and luxury in automotive engineering and delivers an unparalleled driving experience that seamlessly fuses cutting-edge technology with timeless elegance. But beneath the glossy exterior of BMW's storied history, a darker narrative unfolds, revealing shadows cast by wartime collaborations and unscrupulous alliances. Upon closer examination of BMW's past, the sheen of automotive excellence gives way to a disconcerting underbelly, intricately intertwined with the ominous legacy of the Quant family, BMW's influential stakeholders. In the shadows of World War I, BMW emerged not as a beacon of innovation, but as a pawn in the war machine, crafting planes for the German military. Gustav Otto, the founder, initially steered the company into the dark alley of wartime production. Post-war, the company, tainted by its wartime involvement, desperately sought to wash its hands of guilt by diversifying into seemingly innocent products like motorcycle engines and farming equipment. Yet the seeds of sinister history had already been sown. The BMW Dixie, an acquisition born from dubious roots, masked the company's wartime connection. The 1930s witnessed BMW's ascent with racing cars, but the accolades came at a cost: the alliance with the Nazi war effort. As the echoes of war subsided, BMW embarked on a post-war odyssey, diversifying into various sectors, momentarily eclipsing its wartime entanglements. However, beneath the veneer of this evolution, the true shadows come to light as scrutiny sharpens on the Quant family, the clandestine architects of BMW's destiny. And this is where the real story begins. A century ago, the Quant family, now Germany's wealthiest, emerged as prominent industrialists. Gunther Quant, the patriarch, amassed his wealth during World War I, capitalizing on textile manufacturing and selling uniforms to the German Empire. Post-war, he expanded his influence ruthlessly during the hyperinflation era, transforming his textile company into a nationwide conglomerate that delved into electronics, crude oil, weapons, and battery manufacturing. Gunther Quant's personal narrative took a chilling turn, marked by intricate connections with the Nazi regime, following his divorce from Magda Ritschel. The seemingly mundane divorce in Gunther Quant's personal life unfurled into a dark saga, intricately woven with Nazi connections. His ex-wife, Magda Ritschel, took a fateful step into the upper echelons of Nazi leadership by marrying Joseph Goebbels, who would later become the notorious head of Nazi Germany's Ministry of Propaganda. In a surprising twist, Gunther not only accepted this union, but extended his support by offering his mansion for their wedding, where Adolf Hitler himself served as the best man. Gunther's calculated approach to the Nazi Party revealed a shrewd strategist. Gunther's strategic maneuvers, however, became more apparent in the political arena. Despite his prior connections, he refrained from publicly endorsing the Nazi Party until after their triumphant electoral victory in 1933. By strategically withholding public support until after the Nazis secured power, Gunther solidified his position as a key ally, actively contributing to Hitler's aggressive militarization initiatives. This calculated move allowed Gunther to navigate the shifting political landscape, emerging as a key ally to Hitler and actively contributing to the aggressive agenda that marked the early years of Nazi rule. So, Gunther Quant strategically aligned himself as one of Hitler's key allies, positioning his factories as integral components of the Nazi war machine. The pinnacle of his wartime contributions was the AFA battery factory, a linchpin powering German submarines, tanks, and Hitler's formidable V-2 rocket, a German ballistic missile of World War II, known as the forerunner of modern space rockets and long-range missiles. In 1937, Hitler bestowed upon Gunther the title of Wehrwirtschaftsführer, designating him as the leader of the war economy. As Hitler expanded his conquests, Gunther swiftly seized factories across Europe, becoming a linchpin in the Nazi industrial apparatus. By 1941, Gunther's factories relied heavily on forced labor, with conditions in AFA's battery plants earning notoriety for their extreme brutality, particularly affecting Jewish laborers who faced harsh conditions and tragically succumbed to lead poisoning within 6 months. Overseeing the grim operations at AFA was Gunther's son, Herbert Quant, a dedicated member of the Nazi Party. In 1943, Herbert collaborated with the SS in constructing a concentration camp adjacent to their battery factory in Hanover, replicating similar arrangements in AFA factories located in Berlin and Vienna. With the eventual decline of the German war machine, the vast business empire of the Quants faced threats from the occupying Allies. Contrary to expectations, Gunther avoided indictment despite being one of the era's prominent industrialists. Upon capture by the Americans, Gunther was interned in Camp Moosburg, a former Nazi Germany prisoner of war facility repurposed to hold suspected collaborators. After a year and a half in captivity, Gunther was released, as documented evidence at the time was deemed insufficient to establish a direct link between him and the Nazis. In contrast to his father, Herbert found himself in the British occupation zone following the Nazi surrender. Labeled by the British as carrying relatively little political baggage, Herbert swiftly secured an operating permit, aligning with the British view that figures like Herbert and Gunther were crucial for Germany's post-war economic recovery. It's worth noting that it wasn't only the Quants who emerged relatively unscathed. Even industrialists indicted at the Nuremberg trials were eventually set free under similar pretexts. Gunther's death in 1954 left Herbert at the helm of the family's wealth, and following his father's footsteps, Herbert lucratively acquired struggling companies, including BMW. Post-World War II, BMW faced severe challenges with bombed factories, Eastern German facilities seized by the Soviet government, and a prohibition on car production until 1952. To weather this storm, BMW temporarily shifted to manufacturing kitchen equipment from salvage material. By 1959, on the brink of bankruptcy, Herbert injected capital, rescuing BMW and paving the way for the production of the BMW 1500. This compact yet dynamic sedan marked the inception of BMW's new class designs, revitalizing the brand and propelling it to unprecedented profitability. However, the financial revival was tainted by the fact that the funds used to build BMW were derived from blatant war profiteering. The Quants' acknowledgement of their dark history was notably delayed, surfacing only in October 2007 through an explicit documentary. Despite subsequent public apologies, the Quants remain Germany's wealthiest family, with Herbert's daughter, Suzanne Klatten, holding the title of the country's wealthiest woman. Meanwhile, his son Stefan commands significant control over BMW as its single largest shareholder with over 25% ownership. Presently, the Quants wield considerable influence, exemplified by their status as major political donors to the Christian Democrats, Germany's largest political party. The complex interplay between Nazi Germany's war machine and the contemporary German elite continues to evoke profound reflection. The Quant family, with a questionable past, continued to cast a long shadow over BMW's trajectory. Herbert's death in 1982 did not dissolve the ethically murky ties between the Quants and BMW. The 3 Series, often celebrated as a pinnacle of success, is tainted by the acquisition of Rover Group, marking another dark episode in BMW's pursuit of expansion. As BMW ventured into the new millennium, its pursuit of electric vehicles and global expansion faced the persistent challenge of overshadowing a stained past. Despite the technological strides and global outreach, the company found itself ensnared in controversies that only added to the existing blemishes. The 2014 emissions scandal, a revelation of deceitful practices related to emissions testing, further darkened BMW's corporate image. Beyond the emissions scandal, negative aspects of BMW's trajectory extend into several dimensions. The company's environmental track record, despite recent efforts towards sustainability, is haunted by a legacy of negligence. Critics argue that BMW's shift towards electric vehicles and sustainability initiatives may be perceived as a calculated response to cleanse its tarnished reputation, rather than a genuine commitment to environmental responsibility. Moreover, concerns about the treatment of workers within BMW's supply chain have also surfaced. Reports of exploitative labor practices in certain regions have cast a shadow over the company's ethical standing. Allegations related to unfair labor conditions and inadequate wages have led to questions about the extent of social responsibility within BMW's operations. In the realm of innovation, some critics argue that BMW's commitment to cutting-edge technology is often overshadowed by a prioritization of style over substance. This sentiment contends that the emphasis on luxurious aesthetics and premium branding sometimes takes precedence over addressing practical concerns, such as safety features or sustainable manufacturing processes. The cumulative effect of these negative aspects creates a nuanced backdrop to BMW's narrative in the 21st century. While the company continues to be a symbol of automotive excellence, it grapples with the shadows of its past and the complexities of navigating contemporary challenges. As BMW strives to redefine its image in an era marked by evolving consumer expectations and global scrutiny, the reflection of these negative aspects adds layers to the ongoing narrative of a brand in flux. As we marvel at BMW's modern achievements, we are also reminded that the company's journey is not merely a story of automotive prowess, but an intricate tapestry woven with threads of ethical ambiguity and historical compromise. To fully appreciate the BMW experience, one must confront the haunting legacy that lurks beneath the surface, urging a nuanced understanding of the complex interplay between innovation, commerce, and the enduring echoes of a tumultuous past. So what do you think? Were you aware of this dark truth behind BMW's rise to success? Share your thoughts in the comments below.